On this episode 129 of the podcast, I'm going to talk about stationary genius solutions. And a bit of a close call. So let's get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Luke Who's Talking podcast with me, Luke. Now, for the video listener, you will note the viewer. You will notice my curtains behind me still in the background, and so this is the camera. Just do this a little bit, both for a bit of a swivel. So it's very bright in the room here, so I do apologise for that. I don't know. It might be a bit glary. Anyway, I decided not to close the curtain. That might be a mistake because there's a chainsaw now out the window. But I will soldier on. And just talk over it. Anyway, now stationery. Stationery, it's pretty great, isn't it? I think, especially if you have good stationery. So I do have some good stuff. Well, I have a good pen, right? I have a Parker pen, which is a nice ballpoint, nice metal one. It's got a good click, and you can actually, it's refillable. So you can twist it apart, take the little ink cartridge out, throw it away, get a new one. You can keep your fancy pen, which is good because the pen cost me like $30 when I bought it a couple of years ago now. Now, I don't use the Parker a lot. I used to use it mainly when I started journaling and also like writing letters, but I haven't written a letter for a while and I haven't journaled for a while. So as a result, I haven't used my Parker for a year at least, probably longer. It lives in my drawer here in its box still. So, yeah. But I was thinking the other day, perhaps should I take my Parker and start taking it to work and use it at the office? Should I be taking, I guess what I'm getting into is, should I take my own stationery to the office? Now, we have a cupboard at work, a stationery cupboard, which has got pens of like any colour you want. We've got, this is a bad example, but this pen here for the for the listener, I'm showing, a very bad sort of felt tip pen to the camera. But, we have these pens. We have black, blue, green and red pens, right? Like that, those markers. We have thick ones. We have thin ones. We have regular pens. I don't think we have any pencils. We have, books, notebooks, notepads, sticky notes, all that stuff. Have you noticed that there the camera's just gone for a loop? I don't want it. Hold on. I want it like this. I don't think it's going to stay there. I need a. Anyway. You see that? It's possessed. It's just the setup of the camera. Anyway, back to the rambling. Should I be? So I guess what I'm getting at is, like, we have heaps of writing. I have heaps of writing implement choices at the office. Should I be taking my own stationery? I guess that's what I'm getting at. Now, I thought I could take the Parker. I haven't used it for a while, and it's a nice pen, right? And also, this is a bit of a thing, but I don't know why, but I bought one with blue ink, a blue ink cartridge, and I don't really want the blue. I actually would like a black one. So it's one of those things, like, if I use the pen, I'll run the ink out, then I can buy a black cartridge to put in it rather than keep the blue one. But yeah, so what are your thoughts about that? Do you think it's okay? Like, if you have a nice pen you want to use, you can take it to the office. But I wouldn't imagine many people, maybe if you're a lawyer or something, perhaps, maybe, or a doctor, excuse me, you might take a nice pen, have a nice pen. But generally speaking, if you need a pen, you just go and get one from the office. But anyway, what are our thoughts about taking stationery to the office? Should I take my Parker? And should I use a nice pen? That's really what we're getting at. That is the question. You, dear listener and viewer, have the answer for me. So let me know what it is. Let's get into the next riff. So every now and then you have an idea and you have a problem and you come up with a bit of an idea and you think, geez, that could work. Yeah. So butterscotch lollies, actually, I'll get one out of my jar. Butterscotch lollies, we're having, Logitech was just telling me they're having issues. Don't know what it was. That might come up on the video. We'll see. Butterscotch lollies. Now, they're pretty great. Now, this is for the video listener can see, I have some like this. So for the audio listener, this is a lolly, a butterscotch. It is in its own individual sealed packet. And, it would have a little bit of air in there too, I would imagine. Now, last week, I was going for a ride and I thought, you know what? After I, get to like my furthest point on the ride before I start to come back home, I might want a little butterscotch just to put in your mouth, gives you a good mouthfeel. However, I thought to myself, now look, if I put this in my jersey pocket, it's going to get warm and sticky. And I don't want a hot, sticky lolly. My fingers are going to get sticky. It's not going to be nice, right? It's not going to be nice. So I thought to myself, okay, I wonder if I can put this in my drink bottle. Can I put this in my water bottle? The answer to that is, the answer to that is, I guess, is yes. I thought, if I put this in my water bottle, it's not going to get hot, it's not going to get sticky, and all yuck. So what I did is but before I did that though, I took the lid off my water bottle, and I thought, actually, will it float? Because there's no use putting it in my water bottle if it's just going to sink to the bottom, right? So I just put it in there, and it floated. It didn't sink, it floated. And I thought, brilliant. So I put it in my water bottle, lid on, went for my ride, got to where I wanted to, opened the lid, took the lid off the water bottle. Hey, my little butterscotch is there floating on top. I'll have a little bit of that action in the gullet, I was going to say. And butterscotch, not sticky fingers because it wasn't hot, and no issues. It was pretty good. And actually, I told my co-workers about this. One of them thought it was genius. Well, maybe not genius, but I thought it was pretty good. Another one wasn't really impressed, which I thought was pretty rough, if I'm honest. But yeah, so, it's a little ingenious sort of solution to a problem that really should never have existed in the first place. That is for sure, everybody. Let me get into the last riff for you, and I'm spending a lot of time watching the little preview video of what my webcam is seeing, and I'm kind of like, don't know if I'm into it. I should close the curtains because I'm trying to block the sun that's coming through the window, but it's not. I don't think it's not particularly working too well for me. But anyway, let's get into the last riff. Now, this is another bike story, and this only happened to me the day before recording. So I'm recording this on Sunday. So this happened to me yesterday, and I thought, it's a podcast story. Why not? So I didn't intend to have two back-to-back, quote, bike-related stories. But actually, just a quick comment on the previous one. So if you're going hiking or something, right, and you want to take some lollies, and in nice little packets like this, put them in your drink bottle. Don't put them in your pocket. Put them in your drink bottle. They're going to be fine. Utilize the drink bottle more than just a vessel to carry liquid. So this was a bit spicy. So I was out on my bike yesterday in the terms of me recording this. Now, I was coming down a hill and coming up towards an intersection. Okay, had traffic lights at it, Cool. Now, on the opposite side of the intersection, so coming up the hill, there's a lane that goes straight, and there's a lane for the right-hand turn to get onto this main road that the intersection goes over. Okay, so there's a little bit of geography about the surroundings. So I was coming down a hill, and I was behind. I was following a car. I was behind a car. I wasn't like super close to the car. The car was, I don't know, 20 meters or so ahead of me. Now, the lights at this time were red, but as we got closer to the intersection, well, I got closer, the lights turned green. I was about to say yellow. The lights turned green. Now, I wasn't hard at the intersection. I was still back a little way. So I thought to myself, right, I better send it so I can get across the lights so I don't have to stop. So I did start to pedal a little bit to get a little bit more speed. Now, on the opposite side of the road, coming up the hill and in the right turn lane, there was 3 or so cars. Anyway, now one car, the first one, started to execute their right-hand turn very, I think, slowly. Now, by this point, I think the car that was ahead of me, they actually wanted to make a left. So they had made their left turn. This the car opposite executing the right-hand turn started, was slow, and they stopped in the middle of the road. They must have saw me and stopped in the middle of the road. Now, my thoughts as they're executing their turn, I'm thinking, okay, they're going slow, but they're going to speed up. They'll go through, they'll execute their turn. By the time I get to the lights, the car that's behind them will stop, and I can go through the intersection. That's not how it panned out. They were going very slow, and of course I'm getting closer and closer and closer to getting onto the intersection, and then they stopped probably... I had not got into the intersection at this point, but I was very close to getting into the intersection. You know, you have the intersection, we'll say that square of the intersection, and then you have like the pedestrian crossing, and then we'll say the road starts. You know, I was probably just before, just before the crossing for the pedestrian crossing. So we'll say I'm like 2 meters or so, 2.5 meters off entering the intersection proper. Now this car stopped, and all I'm like pretty well focusing on at this point is the front wheel of this car and the bonnet, and I'm like, I'm gone over it, like done. Is the car going to move? No. So I stopped on the brakes. I had a little bit of a fishtail, and I had a look at my heart rate because I could really feel it. Oof. I was actually surprised that according to my heart rate monitor, it only got up to 159. I thought, like, I'm done. I was kind of like, I'm done at this point. Like, I've gone over this car. But anyway, I wasn't. Got a quizzical look from the person in the vehicle, and then I went around it and continued. Now, I don't know if their thought was, well, they will stop, and then me coming down the hill, I can go to the left of them and around. But if you think of the road I was on, or the road having 3 lanes, so you've got one left turn. This is for me coming down, so you've got one that's left turn, the lane in the middle which goes straight through on the way down, and then the lane on the right-hand side is for traffic coming up. So I'm like in the middle of the road. Now, of course, that is pretty much where this car stopped, in the middle of the intersection, like right in front of my path. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how quick I was going. I could have a look on my app, my ride, to see, but I was just like, I'm done. I'm gone over the bottom of this car. But I stopped. I went around the back of them, interestingly. But, yeah, I just thought, oh my God, that car, they could have just gunned it and like gone and got out of there before I even got to the intersection, but not the case. Not the case at all. The chainsaw is getting louder, so we're going to wrap it up, everybody. Well, everybody, look, thank you very much for listening to this episode and also viewing this episode of the podcast. Nothing more to say, nothing more to do. I'll wrap it up, and yeah, I'll catch you all next time. What is going on? Wake up, computer. Thank you. I'll catch you next time, everybody. Bye. Also, I need to chase up what's going on with my new jingles. What is going on? I'll see ya.